If you thought South African politics couldn't get any more intense, think again. Because when Julius Malema speaks, people don't just listen, they react. And this time, he didn't just speak. He shook the entire conversation around jobs, foreigners, justice, and what it really means to be African in South Africa. So what exactly did he say that got everyone talking? But before we break it down, let's listen to what he had to say. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Now let's get to the video.
Those are slaves' jobs. They don't pay anything. You want proper jobs. You want a job with a pay slip, with an appointment letter, with pension, with medical aid, and you deserve it. But why are we fighting each other? It is the same people who made us fight each other during apartheid, black-on-black violence. They sponsored it. The same provinces where blacks were killing blacks during apartheid, sponsored by apartheid government, is the same provinces where blacks are beating blacks today. The script is the same. The writer of the script is the same. Why do you ask me? Unkupa urna, koncha ngwana, koskolong ka is not South African. Ke munche koskolong, ke fetche ke shebe waka, ke be proud father. After removing a black child from school, when the black children were removed from school with bullets in 1976, when our parents were removed from school because they did not have school fees, I must play that role. Me, I will never do it. I'm not going to take a pregnant woman out of a clinic because she's not South African. She gives birth of an African child at the gate, and that child dies. And you want me to do that and be proud and look at my children and say, I'm a proud father after I stopped life, after I killed someone? I will not do that. I did not join politics to be voted for. I was too young when I joined politics. These positions that I have came as a result of my participation. I am not in politics to be elected. I'm in politics to articulate a position of African people who have been oppressed for too long. We are not saying any Zimbabwean, Nigerian, Ghanaian must bring crime here. The same way no South African must bring crime here. Anyone who brings drugs, South African or Nigerian, must be dealt with according to the laws of South Africa. Not mob justice. Lena le west, ba northwest. Le tshwana le rena ko Limpopo. Ha ba qeta ka ma Zimbabwe, you must know we are next. Because bo butisha re ntwe ke eng ka seZulu ye. Just talk about hack. So, you must stop it before it comes to you. Remember, Raba Limpopo were even too dark. They are just going to look at us and say, well, now we don't even have to ask you anything. I coupe. Before it comes to us, let's stop it there and say, let's deal with illegal immigration through the laws of this country. The Minister of Home Affairs is a DA minister, but they never match to the Minister of Home Affairs, who is responsible for illegal immigrants. Why? They are scared of white people. Look at them. When they speak to a white person, they are very respectful. They show manners. When they speak to a black person, they are violent. When is that march going to Cape Town? Because a lot of illegal immigrants, white immigrants, are in Cape Town. Let's see them going to Cape Town and asking whites to produce their IDs. The same way here in Northwest, a lot of whites say they own land. If you ask them to produce a title deed, they don't have. They gave each other the land early 90s when they saw that democracy was coming. So many white people are here in South Africa, illegal, lebona, they must be treated the same way we treat others. Bona, they are even worse. They've got our land. How na lefatshe na re lwela economic freedom. O shapa le Zimbabwe le a tsamaya, you remain landless. How na le Zimbabwe le nang le lefatshe. Lefatshe le ka mara matsoho a makgowa. How na le Zimbabwe le nang le factory, le nang le mine, le nang le bank. You are fighting over useless things. They are distracting you so that you focus on each other while they are stealing our minerals, while they are stealing our land. Vukataki. This is the time you must be more awake. They are distracting you. They say foreigners have taken jobs from you. Go for them. You go there. They take everything. That's what they did during apartheid. When we were supposed to get our freedom, they started a fight between ANC and IFP. Instead of concentrating on fighting for freedom, we got distracted and killed each other. Who took the weapons to KZN? It was apartheid soldiers. Bought a lot of ammunition, took it to KZN. That's why till today, there are a lot of illegal guns in KZN. Those guns were delivered by the apartheid government, arming blacks to fight one another. Today, they don't give you guns. They put in your mind wrong ideas for you to hate each other, concentrate on one another, while they continue to benefit the minerals of our world. We need to focus, comrades. Not because I killed anyone. They want to take me to jail for 5 years because they don't want me. Why? Why do they want to take me away? They want to take me away because they are scared of the truth. They don't want the truth. I will talk the truth here. I'll talk the truth in jail. I'll talk the truth in my grave. No one can ever kill my ideas. My ideas are out there. No one can ever arrest my ideas. My ideas are out there. No white woman can determine my destination. I've got an appointment with the future, and that future is the revolution to liberate the children of Africa. You must not be scared, comrades. You must never allow them to use me to intimidate you. No one must use my name to intimidate you. Continue to fight for the truth. Continue to tell the truth. Do not be shaken by my sentencing, because that's what they want. They want you to be shaken. I'm not shaken. If I was not married with children, I was not going to appeal it. I was going to go there and come back. But as a responsible family man, I might be strong. My wife might not be strong. My children might not be strong. And my jail can destroy them. For them, I shall appeal it until I get my freedom, so that my family is in a better position. Fighters, the system is against us. We need to rise now. We need to take over power and change the system. The only way you can do that is to make sure that in your VT, there is a VT coordinator who registers the voters, because you cannot win election without your own voters. Shabam fighters all over South Africa. Ki EFF fela. Ye campaign for registration. The rest they don't. Why? Because they've been winning ka voters roll yela ya khale. So why would you change the voters roll that made you win elections? So abai batli ntoya registration. Babata the old voters roll. We must put new people in the old voters roll. Harisa to vote ka voters roll ya ANC. Harisa vote ka voters roll ya DA. Vote ka voters roll ya EFF. We need to register people to vote. Halitsa mamo lenkamo letana mo taxi le walk letang. You must check one another. Oremun, yeah, here's my ID number. Punch it and check if I'm registered. And a luanam pay how. Kebonor or registered na. Has registered umuchor umpimpiwena. We're in this trouble because of you. Overekalama Wuru, Overekalama ANC, Overekali the apartheid collaborators who want to see us back to apartheid. We don't want that. How kapana le moto fela peri skipa sa EFF. Matamela or skipa ki asbona ki negere ID. Rebono or skipa seo si apering o si apareting. Hauna ntwa mahala. Register o kre skipa. Register o kene taxi mu kene passing. Hauna ntwa mahala. Aruko pichelete. Ruko or be responsible. Then you can associate with us. We do not associate with irresponsible people. We do not associate with people who see what's happening in this country and they don't take responsibility to correct the wrongs that are happening in this country. It is your duty as leaders of sub-region, leaders of branches, volunteers of the EFF to engage in mass registration. Every high school must have a coordinator. Every TVET must have a coordinator. Every university must have a coordinator. Every mine must have a coordinator. Every factory must have a coordinator. Everywhere where many people are found, there must be someone there who is deployed to do the work of the EFF. The talk is no longer relevant now. Now the cross must talk for us. We have been speaking in Parliament. We have been fighting in Parliament. But Parliament is not enough. We need government. There is a difference between government and Parliament. So we need government to change the living conditions of all of you. You know the other fight that we are fighting now, it's a fight where professional bodies, once you graduate and you get admitted as an attorney, the professional bodies want you to pay annual fee. But you graduated, you are an attorney, you are unemployed. Where are you going to get that professional fee? We don't want unemployed people to pay professional bodies professional fee. Unless those professional bodies develop a database of unemployed professionals, they must go look for jobs for them and then demand professional fee from them because you have given them jobs. So you can't say unemployed person must pay a professional fee. Where are they getting this money? They got a certificate, but they are not working. And you're saying to them, pay us. Pay you with what? And you know, even reactionaries who are supporting that unemployed people must pay these professional bodies professional fees are now saying we agree with the EFF. We must not pay professional fees. EFF, kingondo. Mo EFF wa sebetswa. Mo EFF wana no mo. Today, how kebe is kabaka EFF? No tlo rawi ya ko shopo. Wa raw reka wa kra ko receipting ya hao ba re VAT 17%. Right stop arena give 15% till today and against the ANC. Where we govern, Not a single MMC of the EFF was ever accused of corruption. No single MMC of the EFF was ever arrested. Today, they are desperately looking for us at Madlanga Commission. They try all types of things. Hey, you will never find us. We are not at Madlanga Commission. We are at Marikana. Catch us if you can. You cannot find us where there is corruption. That Chuckleson is desperately looking for EFF, and for sure, even in the computers, when they take the SMSs and WhatsApps of people, they type EFF so that it can come up. That's why EFF came up in one SMS, but they spoke about it for more than 10 days. Go and ask, how much was that 10 days where you are desperately wanting to put the EFF in corruption that is non-existent? We fight corruption everywhere. We fight for the unemployed. We fight for the insourcing. We've put a bill in Parliament where we said everybody must be insourced who works in government. Cleaner, security guards, whatever. As long as you are in those buildings of government, working for a private company, we are saying to government, terminate that contract of that company, hire those people directly because they've got a skill and they must have the benefits. We have insourced the security guards. They were earning 7,500. Today, they earn more than 11,000 with medical aid, with pension fund. A lot of our parents here in Northwest used to go and work in Joburg for years and years as security guards. When they come back, they have nothing to show. And Renault, una yake basadi ko Johannesburg. Hana sa yike basadi. Na jake makhuwa ba mujamatso. Ba jamatso abontata ba rona ha ba bua ba tshentshana ka ena so. But ha isa le company ela, it's a new company. Ha isa le company hantatao art fetsa ya pension. Hana pension fund. And then they make your father to look like he's a fool. Your father is not a fool. He's an exploited worker. And the EFF is going to stop that exploitation through the insourcing bill. And let me tell you, superior logic. Ramaphosa le go parliamenting. I asked him, do you agree with insourcing? I agree fully. Fully. So without repeal yo passa unopposed. Marababa maburu ba ilo opposer because ke bona ba benefita. But ourselves with ANC, MK and other small parties come together to pass insourcing bill. We will defeat the DA, we will defeat capitalism, we will restore dignity on the shoulders of the working class. Fighters, we must make sure that everywhere we go, we represent very well the working class. If you are a councillor, you keep quiet in a municipality during council, you are part of the problem. How do you keep quiet? There is no black area here without a problem. Now problems have even gone to white people's areas. When you are a councillor, you go into a council and you keep quiet. Where do you live? Where do you live? Because we sent you there to go and represent us. But don't worry, fighters. That is going to change. From today, nominations of councillors are open in the EFF. Each branch must nominate their own councillor of your choice. No leader is going to dictate to you who's going to be a candidate in your ward. Any leader who does that, report that leader to SG. The process starts today. It's going to end at the end of the month. We are preparing for war. Please, don't accept to be a councillor, even if you know you won't win. gore ha re ka mola voting station e le wena le mosadi le bana ba hao ba ithu la kena ka mola ha re khutla re di result o krea 3-1 wa re ban ropile why vote ya ka ile 1 e re ko wena why o re ba o ropile o re ke kene le mosadi le bana ba ithu at least I be 4 khane 3 yela ke yona itse bang gore you can't be a leader a ke re phela le wena full time you itse pila itse pila gore o na le bana le ka mo ntlabila o patele maintenance kruku kwena o dire o etsang o rebele dinyao beast mo a dina bontata bona. You must pay maintenance. That is being responsible. We don't want people who are irresponsible. Pay maintenance. And never argue with a woman when she says, my guy, I'm pregnant. The day you don't use condom, you must know the high possibility is yours. Once you say, condom, I'm pregnant. Molatuku hao papa. Otoma opatela from that day. How's a ratim my? Mo blog my. Mara utibe di bank account. Jam my. O morumele chelete. Ungwale reference mola urutsotsi kwena.
Let's break it down. In this speech, Malema jumps straight into one of the most sensitive issues in South Africa right now: jobs. But instead of blaming immigrants the way many people expect, he flips the script completely. He makes it clear that the real problem isn't just who is working, it's the type of jobs available. He talks about so-called slave jobs, low-paying, unstable work with no benefits. And he says something that hits hard. People don't just want any job, they want dignity. They want proper employment with contracts, pensions, and medical aid. And honestly, that's something most people can relate to. It's not just about having a job, it's about having a future. But here's where it gets controversial. Malema strongly pushes back against the growing hostility toward foreign nationals. He makes it clear that while crime must be dealt with, no matter who commits it, targeting people simply because they are from Zimbabwe, Nigeria, or anywhere else in Africa is wrong. And then he delivers one of the most emotional parts of the speech. He says he would never remove a pregnant woman from a clinic just because she's not South African. He paints a picture: a woman giving birth at the gate, a child dying because of rejection. And he asks a powerful question: how can anyone be proud after that? That moment right there, that's where the speech shifts from politics to humanity. Now, whether you agree with him or not, you can't ignore the moral argument he's making. He's basically saying, being African should mean something beyond borders. But of course, not everyone agrees. Some people feel that South Africa is already struggling with unemployment, and adding more pressure from immigration makes things worse. Others argue that leadership should prioritize citizens first. And that's exactly why this speech sparked so much debate, because it sits right in the middle of a very real tension. Then Malema moves into something deeper: fear. He warns South Africans that once mob justice starts, it doesn't stop neatly. Today it might target foreigners, tomorrow it could target you. He even points out how people in different provinces or communities might suddenly find themselves on the receiving end of the same discrimination. It's basically a warning. Chaos doesn't stay controlled. And then, in classic Malema fashion, he turns his attention to power. He makes it very clear that he's not in politics just to win elections. According to him, he joined politics young, before positions or titles even mattered. His mission, as he says, is to speak for African people who have been oppressed for generations. Now, whether you see that as genuine or political strategy, that's up to you. But what's interesting is how he connects this to the bigger system. He argues that people are being distracted, fighting each other over small issues, while bigger economic problems remain untouched. Things like land ownership, control of mines, and economic inequality. He even goes as far as saying people are being distracted into fighting over useless things, while wealth and resources remain concentrated elsewhere. And this is where his message becomes more strategic than emotional. He starts talking about voter registration, elections, and the importance of organizing at ground level. He emphasizes that you can't win political power without voters, and you can't get voters without proper structures. So this isn't just a speech, it's also a mobilization. But let's talk about one of the most powerful sections, Marikana. Malema brings up the Marikana massacre and reminds people that even years later, justice hasn't truly been served. He speaks directly to the families, the widows, the survivors, saying their struggle is not forgotten. And this part hits differently because it connects past trauma with present frustration. It's not just about what happened, it's about what hasn't changed. He uses that moment to criticize the current system, arguing that corruption and corporate interests still dominate while ordinary people continue to suffer. And then he pivots again, this time to economics. He talks about insourcing workers, making sure that people who work in government buildings are employed directly by the state instead of through private companies. He gives examples of how wages and benefits improve when this happens. It's one of the more practical parts of his speech, less emotional, more policy-driven. But even here, his core message remains the same: dignity for workers. Then comes another interesting angle: responsibility. Malema doesn't just criticize the system, he also calls out individuals. He talks about things like taking care of your children, paying maintenance, and being accountable in your personal life. And this part is unexpected because it moves away from politics and into social behavior. He basically says, you can't fight for justice outside if you're not responsible inside your own life. Now that's a message that cuts across political lines. And finally, he builds toward a bigger picture: the future. He talks about taking power, changing the system, and creating a South Africa where resources benefit the people. He emphasizes land, agriculture, mining, and local development. He paints a vision where towns like Rustenburg become economic hubs, where mines lead to schools, hospitals, and proper infrastructure. It's ambitious, some would say unrealistic, but it's definitely bold. So what's the takeaway from all of this? This wasn't just a speech about foreigners or jobs or politics. It was a layered message about dignity, humanity, power, and responsibility. Malema challenges people to think beyond anger and look at the bigger system. At the same time, he doesn't ignore real frustrations: unemployment, inequality, and lack of opportunity. And that's why the reaction has been so mixed. Some people see him as speaking truth to power, others see him as controversial and divisive. But one thing is clear: he knows how to get people talking. And maybe that's the real point. Because whether you agree with him or not, you're thinking about it. And in politics, that's power.